Hi, how you doing? My name is Steve, and the first thing I want to do is congratulate you for getting this far. The screeners I know sometimes can be pretty tough. I've asked them to do a good job on qualifying people. Typically save you time and myself time also. Let me give you a little background about who I am and what I do and what the process is here, because this still is part of the interview process. I am a pastor, I'm a teacher, I'm a businessman, I'm also an author, and a father and a grandfather, and you know, got a big family. Uh, I have a vision, and what I'm trying to do, what I want to do, and hopefully qualify for this, is that I believe that everyone should have the opportunity to have a better life, especially in the area where economics get involved, money. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I know in the area of money that money is the only thing that works in those areas. And I really detest what it's doing, the lack of money is doing to the American family. It used to be a situation a long time ago where one income would sustain a household. Then it went to two. Now the situation is you have a husband and wife each working two jobs, and the kids are growing up, basically being watched over by somebody else. They don't end up knowing their parents, and husband and wife end up not knowing each other because all they're doing is getting up to go to work, to come home, to go to bed, to try to create a life. And they're so busy working to create a life that they don't have time to have a life. And 15, 20 years, they wake up one day and they don't know each other. They don't know their kids. They don't know their children. And 50% of most households today end up with divorce because of that reason. And I really detest divorce. I really don't like seeing families being broken like that. So if I can help alleviate some of the pain, if I can help people get their lives back, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what my desire is. So I'm not sure if you qualify, but you're going to know quite a bit about me and what my vision is, what my desires are, and you'll have a chance to decide whether or not we should continue this conversation. My vision is very simple. As I just said, I want to be able to put in the hands of everyone, regardless of your education, your background, your race, your creed, your color, whatever. I don't care if you have a PhD or a third grade education. It doesn't make a difference to me. If you have a desire to improve your life and you're able to follow instructions and you're not afraid to put some effort out behind it, I'd be more than happy to work with you. But I have to take the best candidates. I can't work with everyone. Unfortunately, it's a time problem. As I said, I'm an author. I'm just finishing my first book, and I've already been asked to do another one. And I also have obligations in other countries to do some work. So time is a problem. But what I've tried to do is go ahead. I'm going to give you a little bit of insight. Um, I'm not going to talk a lot about products. Very simple is that every time I get in a conversation with people about having their own business and having their own opportunity to be successful, they get hung up on products and they lose the big picture. You see, it's not how much you can do, it's how much you can get done. And if you're going to concentrate on products, it's telling me that you want to be a salesperson or you want to recruit salespeople, and that's not how you build success. You know, I knew a woman once who used to tell me all the time that many hands make for a light load, and she was right. The same process works in business. The more that you can get done, the less you have to do. So it's a process of being able to build successful teams, which means you have to have a direction, you have to have a system. I believe I have both, and if you're willing to learn and to follow some very simple directions, it's not rocket science. You should be able to be successful. So we can talk about products later on. You have to have products or services to be in business in this country. Otherwise, it ends up being a scam. Okay? And we're not interested in scams. We're interested in being a successful, legitimate business. So I've identified a few problems that most businesses have, and I've also tried to remove them. I actually have a process and done a lot of work in making sure that people understand that, in every business and as well through life, you're going to have problems. But if you have the answers in hand already, then those problems aren't very big. They're just a little pebble that you walk over. If you don't have the answers, they can be a mountain. And that's one of the reasons why in this country that 95% of most home-based businesses close shop in the first 3 years. Either that or they find another opportunity, keep thinking that was the opportunity, and a lot of times it is the opportunity, but until they finally settle on something to become successful at it. Now I'm going to address some of the products. I already told you that I'm a pastor, so I've actually put down on 3x5 cards the ideas. I'm going to see me referring to them simply for your benefit. Because as a pastor, I've been known to talk for a couple hours at a time. I don't think you're going to want to endure that. So let me get this information out to you, and I'm going to start right now. When it comes to one of the stumbling blocks in business that prevents people, no matter what the business is, from being successful, it's actually cash flow. I told you I'm a pastor, teacher, businessman, etc., etc. I actually cut my teeth on business and teaching. I was a businessman long before I was a pastor. A matter of fact, my family owned three companies, and I created one myself back in the 80s. I know I'm dating myself. With just a few $100s in the printing business, and I was able to expand it to 36 states inside of 5 years. So I do have a good business background, and I know that one of the major killers in business is cash flow. So I ask you a question. If you're looking for a home-based business right now, and this is your first opportunity of looking at a home-based business, or if this is you're already involved in a home-based business, you're not being very successful at it, one of the issues can be cash flow. Now, to me, doesn't it make more sense to have a cash flow where you're getting paid bonuses weekly, so the business ends up becoming self-funded? One of the problems in most home-based businesses is that they pay you every 30 to 45 days. Well, you can run out of money in 30 to 45 days. And then you start building up credit card bills. You're not interested in going in business by developing debt. The idea is to be profitable. So one of the solutions I have is being paid weekly. All right. Now, so especially with my quick start bonus. Okay. Now the second problem I have is, or I foresee, is a lack of training. You see, there's leadership who leads by telling you what to do, and there are leaderships that lead by example. And I like the concept where you're involved in business, and the leadership actually becomes successful by helping to ensure that you are successful. Now that doesn't mean they're going to do all the work for you, but they'll take you by the hand, walk with you, and they realize that the more success that you have, the more success they will have, which really makes more sense to me. Instead of sitting there and having someone try to tell you or give you directions of what to do, when their income is actually based on your success, it gives them an internal motivation. Right? Second is a lack of business identity. Third is lack of business identity. If you're looking at a web-based business, how do you separate yourself from the millions of people yelling and screaming for your attention on the web? If they don't know you, how are they going to understand you? And if they don't know you, it builds in skepticism. Skepticism, is a good thing. Normally, I find that most skeptical people really are intelligent people. So you need to be able to build identity. And we take that by the hand. We want to find out what your skills are. We can plug you in the system and identify your strengths. And we can help you develop those strengths as you go along. And we address that in our training. A fourth one is a lack of vision. If you're looking at this now, as an opportunity, and it's your first opportunity, you need to know why you're willing to step out and do something different. In most cases, because you want to change your life. You've already realized that the 40-40 plan, that's 40 hours a week for 40 years, doesn't work. It usually ends up being a 75 or 80 hour hours per week job for who knows how many. And right now, if you're looking at Social Security to retire on, we found out that it's not very social and it's not very secure. So you probably want to get out of that rut of getting up and going to bed to come home to go to work to get up to go to bed. You probably have other dreams and goals and aspirations. I mean, if you're married, and can you remember the dreams and the goals that you had when you first got married? You wanted to live in a nice house, have nice vacations, put the kids through college. And right now, it's seeming to get harder and harder and harder. And I really feel bad for the kids just coming out of college right now. They're coming out with debt, and 25 to 30% of them won't be able to find jobs. So you got to have a vision. A friend of mine once told me a long time ago, if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to end up someplace else. So one of the things we have to do is actually establish what your goals and your visions are and break them down. Short term, mid-term, and long term. And get them written out. It's the only way I can give you a plan. It's the only way I can help you. So, alright. Also, having the wrong expectations. This really addresses more of a person who's looking to get out of debt, or someone who's thinking they're going to get rich overnight. And let's face it, if someone's going to promise you you're going to get rich overnight, if I was you, I'd run away from them as fast as I can. And if you're looking to get out of debt overnight, it's not going to happen. You didn't get in debt overnight. Don't expect to get out of debt overnight. All right. Matter of fact, I like the analogy of that, a woman does not give birth as soon as she gets pregnant. It takes 9 months. Well, it's going to take legitimately up front, to start making real nice profits. I'm talking, $3,000 or $4,000 a month or more. It's going to take you 3 to 6 months to really get it rolling. And it's just like starting a car. In starting a car, it takes more energy to get it moving than it does to keep it moving. So if you're going to be working with me, I'm going to be looking for a long-term commitment. When I say long-term, I'm expecting 1 year commitment out of people. And frankly, I want to help everyone, but if they're going to just give it a try, I don't have time for people who want to just run up to the side, run up to the pool and just put their toe on it and tell me it's cold. So I'm looking for the person who literally says, I'm ready to go, let's jump in and get going. So you also need to have a plan. All right? And then you need to plan for success, but have everything in line to handle the problem. That's what I'm trying to do for you right now. So if you don't have a plan, you're not gonna be successful. And if you don't work that plan, you're really not gonna be successful. You can't say, hey Steve, I have a plan, I got it written down, and now I'm successful. No. You got a plan, now let's put it in action. Success is an action word, and to be successful, you have to take action. Failure to change. I've been told I can be rather hard-headed and stubborn sometimes, and honestly, they're right. But if you're not willing to change what you're doing, if you're not willing to change, period, you're going to remain in the same place you are right now. If you simply think by joining a business or a marketing team, or I don't care if it's selling plastic lids door to door or whatever the case may be, and you say I'm going to do it, and you just sit there and you don't change anything, nothing's going to happen. You need to change the way you think. You need to change sometimes the way you talk. And you need to change your effort. Because not that you're looking for a full-time job. Nobody wants that. But you need to be in a position where you actually will take the effort and do it on a consistent basis. Alright? You need to be able to follow directions. I had a friend of mine tell me it takes more courage to follow than it does to lead. And I think it's probably correct. Because by following, you're saying, I trust that person to give me correct information. I believe that person will lead me in the right direction and has my benefit, my well-being in the front of his mind at all times. That takes a lot of faith, takes a lot of courage, and people who don't follow directions from someone who's already successful, it's not always pride. Sometimes it's fear. All right. So it takes a step in that direction. Now, I've already addressed that because my success and everyone I work with when I build success teams, their success as well as mine is only assured when I can help you or put you in a position where you are successful. So the information I give you or any of my team leaders give you is going to be based on assuring and ensuring your success. Doubt. Doubt is a big issue. All right. Now you can doubt who I am. You can doubt my opportunity. But I found that and I can always prove those. It's not an issue. I found the biggest issue in doubt, in dealing with doubt, is people doubting themselves. All right. They doubt whether they can do something. They doubt whether they have the ability. They doubt whether something is true or not. You have to face your doubt. And the biggest one is doubting yourself. All right. Whether they feel as though they deserve it or not, that's always an issue. But we need to address the doubt factor. All right. And I have a complete system to help you with the self-improvement addressing the doubt factor. And fear. Fear goes hand in hand with doubt. And the biggest problem I have with people with fear is the fear of failure. Some people are so afraid of failing that they never even bother to try. They have therefore condemned themselves to that life of mediocrity. Well, mediocrity is not the process I'm willing to follow. And it's not the characteristics I'm looking for. Now, there are other issues that people have. Issues of in developing a business. You've heard the stories of you got to have your list. Your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, and you run out of them, and all of a sudden, you're at your end of your rope and no place to go. Well, first of all, I'm not looking for someone to recruit their friends and neighbors or relatives. I always present opportunities to my family. None of them ever listen to me anyway, so therefore they're out doing whatever they do, always saying that they're working 2 or 3 jobs. I'm sorry for them, but I can't force them to listen. The aspect is that, I always give them the opportunity, but I don't rely on that. And I have resolved that issue because, frankly, I can give you sources where you can get unlimited leads forever. Unlimited leads and prospects. Another issue people have is they have a fear of talking with people. They don't want to present a program or a presentation or products or whatever, and it's just not in them. They get fearful. They don't like rejection, basically. So what I've done, I put together a system. I've tied myself and give you the opportunity that you can plug into a system whereby, all your leads can be called directly for you. They can be screened and interviewed for you. And by the time that you have they've gotten to you, they're all ready to say, okay, let's go. Let's get ready. I'm ready to join. So all you're doing is plugging them into your business and providing them the training I'm going to provide you. And you'll find that as you both learn, things get a lot easier. And there is a learning curve. Okay, so that's why I said 3 to 6 to 9 months, and I look for someone to commit for a year. So where does that leave us? Well, I am going to give you some qualifications. I need people who can follow directions. So I'm going to ask you to follow some directions. All right. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to write down 6 goals that money will play a part in. All right. Because money is what we're talking about. And I'm not a lover of money, but I know in the areas that money works, basically nothing else does. So if I want you to write down 6 goals, 6-month goal, a year goal, and a 3-year goal. 6 months may be paying off 2 or 3 credit card bills. I need to know the amount. 3 years maybe say I want enough money to pay my children's education. Or I want to buy a new house. Or I want enough money to take my wife on a vacation to Hawaii or to Aruba or wherever the case may be. But I need you to write down 6 of them. And then I need you to email me those goals. Alright? Because I need to know your why. And to know your why, I need to help put a plan together for you. Now, I know some people simply just want a couple $100 a week. Take the edge off. That's perfectly fine. I have room for those people. I just don't have a lot of time to spend with them. I'm here. I have a system in place where I can get their questions answered. I can get them started, point them in the right direction, and they can always plug in and train, use all the information. Because one of the things I didn't tell you is I actually have hundreds of hours of training available, video training, where on basically almost any subject that you can just go to and access the library automatically. Whether it be learning how to set up a website, how to email, how to do group emails, how to generate leads, it's all there for you, as well as product knowledge. I also need to know if you're teachable. One of the questions you have to ask, and you gotta let me know, is if you're the type of person who's determined. And I need to know if I can count on you. And what I mean count on you, are you a kind of person who takes action or sits back and let things happen? Are you a kind of person? I'm not looking for people who want a full-time job. Believe me. You don't need that. Alright? What I am looking for is someone who's willing to dedicate 8 to 10 hours a week for 48 out of the 52 weeks. There's 4 weeks there for vacation. You can turn me off and turn me out for 4 weeks. Okay? It's really about your life. Because where I'm at, my vision and my goal is to have in place by the end of the year 24 qualified team leaders whom I can teach to build a success team of 1,000 people apiece. Alright? And it's not really people. I don't like saying people. 1,000 members. Because we're all equal in this. Alright? So, you may qualify for that. If you do, you're going to be you make a large income at that. Nice, very nice income. So, I'm going to leave it in your hands. The screener gave you my phone number. The screener also gave you my email address. Alright? I'm going to repeat it here in case you lost it. If you don't have it. But my email address is decide, DECIDE 2013 at gmail.com. That is decide at gmail, decide 2013 at gmail.com. Or if you care to call me, I will give you my business line, which is 518-368-1546. And if you call me, I want to know if you're ready to go. Call me and tell me that you have your everything ready. You've got your goals made out, you have your plan made out, and you're ready to start. Alright, and then we'll take it to the next plan. The next interview. Because there is one more interview after this. I'll actually take you to a website, explain the pay structure, and how quickly it builds, and there is residual income as well as quick start money. There are actually 18-year-old kids, 18 or even younger than that, knocking down $1,500 or more a week. Alright? All because they can follow instructions, all because they act. Alright? Nothing will get done. Success is an action word. So to be successful, you have to take action. Now, whether we get a chance to talk one-to-one, whether you want to go any place other than where you are right now, you don't want to go any further, that's fine. If you don't, I do wish you the best. I do hope you're successful in whatever you attempt and you achieve. Okay? And if you want to go forward, God bless. Alright? Have a great day. Bye now.